This year's G-Star event has blessed us with some awesome trailers and game reveals to look forward to. We've had a bunch of new games revealed, or more in-depth looks from a wide variety of different genres, such as the shooter, action-adventure, Souls-like, and MMO genre that really impressed a lot of people. One of the games is a follow-up to an MMO that a lot of people liked, but ended up being quite controversial due to the number of issues with the publisher's approach to the game. So today we're going to be talking about Archeage 2 and getting you up to speed on it. One of the biggest issues that players had with Archeage 1 and Archeage Unchained was the ever-shifting monetization models. So let us know what game you really enjoyed, but you got put off by how they monetized it. I really enjoyed Star Wars Battlefront 2, but of course when the game originally launched there was a terrible loot box style monetization method for things that definitely let you effectively buy power. It's a real shame because they did fix it in the end, but it was too late for a lot of people, and it definitely ended up not being as good as it could have been with a bigger player base. So definitely do click like down below if you enjoy these videos to show support, and subscribe so you can stay up to date on all the gaming news updates from us here on the channel. Currently there are a lot of good looking MMOs on the horizon, with the upcoming Riot MMO and projects like Ashes of Creation. Well, Archeage 2 is being added to the list as players really liked the core gameplay and Sandpark MMO elements of the first game. Archeage 2 is being made by the same lead developer as Archeage 1, and they're pitching it as a seamless open world action RPG, but this time they're going to be developing it for both consoles and PC, which seems to be the focus of many MMO developers for these recently announced projects. The game is being developed in Unreal Engine 5, and they're aiming for it to have top-tier visuals and an immersive world for players to explore. There isn't a solid release date at the moment, but the game is targeted for 2024. It may even release sooner, as the lead developer, when asked about the release date, simply replied, "Soon." If you did play Archeage 1 and you were into the lore and stories of that world, you'll be happy to hear that Archeage 2 will share the same lore, but will be telling a new story for players to experience. The developers have said that they want to have spectacular action as well as AAA standard storytelling. For the gameplay, we know that the game will focus on seamless, non-linear progression, and many of the features from Archeage 1, such as trade routes and housing, will make a return but be expanded on for Archeage 2. The player housing will be improved by adding more customization options for the player, as well as allowing players in guilds to form towns so they can live alongside each other. While there hasn't been much information released about the combat and classes, the lead developer has said that their primary focus for Archeage 2 is to have action-packed combat and an immersive storyline for players to experience. In the trailers, we actually got to see a small peek into a few different melee-focused classes, and we think they look pretty awesome. The story itself will take place in a time when people have first started to discover and settle in Aurora. Because of this, the story will involve solving and discovering the mysteries of an ancient civilization that have been long forgotten for thousands of years. For those of you that love PvP as much as we do in an MMO, you'll be happy to hear that PvP will be making a return, and hopefully it is an improved version of the system from Archeage 1, where players could battle against other players in the opposing faction. As much as the game does look promising, there's going to be a thing that may make or break this title for many players, and that will be how they handle the monetization this time around. There currently hasn't been any information released on that at the moment. The only details we have come from MMORPG.com in an article that says, "No word was said regarding the type of business model Archeage 2 might use, which could be a sticking point for many Archeage fans, considering the flip-flop nature of Archeage Unchained's business model. Kako has taken over publishing of Archeage and Archeage Unchained for a while now from Gamergo, after helping Pearl Abyss publish Black Desert Online for years before that company brought it in-house. So while the game does look pretty good so far, it's definitely one of the more risky ongoing MMO projects to keep your eyes on, but we here on the channel like to keep you guys up to date on all things MMO. So let us know what you think about all of this and if you feel the same way. We're keeping our eye on it, but we're going to have to wait until we can hear more about that business model and how they do monetization. So if you enjoy these videos and you like these updates from us, definitely click like and subscribe and hit the bell down below so you don't miss out. And the two videos on screen now we think you'll really enjoy if you found this one interesting or helpful. If you like the gaming news updates from us, you should definitely check these two out on the screen now, and tell us what you think after watching in the comments down below.